Welcome to day 5 of my solo trip. Last day. So let me tell you a little something I learned about while I was on my trip to Salem, Massachusetts. Story time. So I arrived to my hotel room and I was walking around Danvers, where my hotel room is. And when I got to Danvers, I realized I felt a bit uneasy. And I was like, why do I feel uneasy? I'm not even in Salem. Well, here's the story. I did some Google research, and Danvers, Massachusetts is actually where the many people were from that were accused. At the time, it was the old Salem Village. And I learned yesterday there is actually an old stone area down here somewhere where the house of the girls who accused Rebecca Nurse of being a witch once stood. So I decided to come and see it for myself today. This is my last day here. Why not? So this is where it took place, the village parsonage. This is where the house, where the girls that started the hysteria, this is where that house once sat. I don't know if this door opens. If it doesn't, I'm not going in there. But this is where that once sat. Now, this was not easy to find. I had to park someplace else and use Google to walk here. And this is just one of the sites that's in Danvers, where I'm staying, but leaving today. That's pretty crazy. All that's left is rocks. Now, unfortunately, I just learned yesterday that Rebecca Nurse, she actually has a homestead. She was one of the women that was tried and convicted and died by hanging. And I actually just learned that her homestead is in Danvers, like 2-minute drive from my hotel. But it's blocked right now. You can't go up there because it's closed. It opens on Tuesday. I leave today. It's Monday. So I found out a little too late that it was there. I found out last night, Sunday. And then I looked into if I could go up there, and unfortunately not. So on this spot right here in what is now Danvers, Massachusetts, there used to be this is not the original place. There used to be a place here where they would examine people who were thought to have been witches. Like I said, that's not the original building, but this is the land that happened on. Okay, we also have this church in Danvers. I believe the sign's trying to say that this person who ran this church brought this town back together after the witch trials. I'm guessing that's what it's trying to say. I'm not really sure. This is where the church that Reverend used to sit. But according to Google, this is now, it's the 5th church that sat here. Danvers, Massachusetts has its own memorial for the witch trials. I'm going to show you some of the names of people that were killed. and what happened to them. And now I'm going to read some of their quotes and who said it. This one says, "I am an innocent person. I never had to do with witchcraft. Since I was born, I am a gospel of a woman." Martha Corey. "The Lord above knows my innocence. As at the great day will be known to men and angels. I petition to your honors, not for my own life, for I know I must die, and my appointed time is set. But the Lord, He knows, is that if it be possible, no more innocent blood may be shed." Mary Esty. "Well, burn me or hang me, I will stand in the truth of Christ." George Jacobs Sr. "Amen, amen. A false tongue will never make a guilty person." Susanna Martin. This is really hard to read because of the sun. "I can say, before my eternal Father, I am innocent, and God will clear my innocency." Rebecca Nurse. "The ministers, jewelries, and all the people in general, being so much enraged and incensed against us by the delusion of the devil, which we can term no other by reason, we know in our own consciousness we are all innocent persons." John Proctor Sr. And at the bottom they have, "I fear not, but the Lord in His due time will make me as white as snow." John Willard. And then, so this is the memorial that's in Danvers, which used to be part of Salem. I read somewhere they changed their name because they were not proud of what had happened here. I mean, as cool as Salem was to visit, I'm more interested in the history part of it, and it was kind of like a mockery how it was in town. These women were Puritans that were accused, or the people, they weren't all women. And the thing that bothered me the most is everyone, they're having fun dressing up as witches, but like, and there's all this witch themed stuff. These women and men would be very upset probably of what has become of that part of Salem. I know a lot of people have fun down there though. The history part was great. Where this house now sits, there used to be the original meeting house. And there's a sign that talks about the meeting house. This is where the original interrogations took place, but not in that house. The old meeting house has since crumbled, but that's the land that took place on. So this empty field here is where Giles Corey, who was the only person pressed to death, he was tortured during the witch trials. His house used to be here. Now, people believe that he would not say anything, and he just kept saying more weight and letting stones go on him, so he wouldn't lose so his family wouldn't lose his possessions. Because if you were guilty of being a witch, you would lose your possessions. Your family would lose your possessions. So the house that he died for, 400, like so many years ago, it wasn't 400 yet, 300 some years ago, it's gone. So the Giles Corey Memorial is somewhere in here. I'm gonna go looking for it. I found it. So here is Martha Corey, her memorial stone. She does not have a grave that I know of. It says Martha Corey. She was pious, outspoken. Hanged September 22nd, 1692. She's the one who said she was a gospel woman. She laughed and denied it. Here is the memorial stone. For Giles Corey. He was the only person tortured and pressed to death during the trials. Before I leave, I wanted to make sure I got a video of what my hotel looked like. This is the Danvers Sonesta Select in Danvers, Massachusetts. The top window there, I believe that's my hotel room right up top above that light. 314. Ron wanted to see what my hotel room looked like, so this is the bathroom. The shower. And then you come out this way. There's a mirror. And there is a microwave, and inside this is your refrigerator. This is the bed. And it has a couch, a pull-out desk, a television, and then this is the closet. And all the drawers. And then my view out my window. See the light? Some landscaping. And over there is the Liberty Tree Mall. It's like Target and Panera and AMC Theater and a couple other things. There's some restaurants. And that is my room. I had a really awesome trip, and it's time to go home and see my kids and my husband, who I really miss. So here's to hopefully only in about like a 6-hour drive, I'm hoping, instead of 11 hours. It's supposed to take a little over 6. On the way up, it took 11 because I did the wrong type of directions in Google. I made things harder on myself. So let's hope that I get home in about 6 hours to see my kids and my husband. Goodbye, Massachusetts.